Hi, I'm Sam with Scrappy Industries. Welcome to today's challenge. Can we start a D8? Now, I bought this D8 out of the estate. It sat in a shed across the road. I think it's been close to 10 years since this tractor's run. We got one shot. We're gonna take gasoline, maybe some mechanics wire in case we got a fuel line stuck. We have a Leatherman and Knips in our pocket, of course, like every day. And we have to crank start it. No jump packs allowed either. So the question is, can we get it started at all? Or how long will it take to get us started? We'll just have to show our phone over there, I think, for the 2U D8 challenge. I can't find mechanics wire, so we're going with the next most expensive alternative, a little piece of TIG wire. Do we dare take a 9/16 wrench? Is that allowed in our first try? 9/16 will do it.
Non-ratcheting?
Well, yeah, who needs ratcheting? That's scrap. No. Do we get to stop at the gas station? We need a spark plug, maybe other removals as well. All right, as long as we have gas, this is gonna make it happen. Big John forced me to fix up the ultimate chariot, the old 1992 club car, something or other, which by that we put slime in the tires and fix the battery connection, I guess was the main thing. Charge the battery, of course. Running like a top. Oh yeah, give her a second. Almost there. Yep, the chariot is alive. So this is a 1952 or 53, I forget, 2U D8. This is basically after the 8R 1H series, but before the 13A and 14A and ultimately the PowerShift D8H series. As you can see, it's quite a bit smaller than a D8H. This machine sitting here, I think with the blade, it might be about 48,000 pounds. I think the bare tractor is around 40,000 pounds, something. So this machine was originally bought and owned by the Frank Bryan Company here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That's the same as the Mini Mac, the D6 that Kim and I worked on, my cousin's Bay City 45 shovel, our Lorraine 820 shovel, and we also got a 977H when we got the D6 last year. So we essentially have their entire fleet now. When we got this machine in 2002, I was 9 or 10 years old. I think it was towards the end, so I was 10. And the main engine ran. They just push started it and used it to push off a fill, but the pony engine was locked up, didn't run. It also had a whole bunch of shields around it. It was in kind of a bad neighborhood where it was working, like the D6 had on it too. So we took all that stuff off. My uncle and I worked to get the pony engine running, changed out the exhaust manifold, a few little things here and there to get it to be a usable tractor. As you can see, we never did any amount of a cosmetic restoration to it. So a 2U D8 uses a D13000 6-cylinder engine. The D7s use the 4-cylinder version of this same engine, and way back in the day, the RD6s were using a 3-cylinder version of essentially this same engine. And I don't know what it is, but the D13000s are really one of my favorite Cat engines. They just work. Frank's Lima 604 shovel has a D13000 in it, and just like this one, you can crank start it, fire right up. Everything about it, they just work. They're good engines, and I think in their day, they were an excellent engine, and they're still here with us now. These old-style pony engines with the big downdraft carburetors, they worked a lot better than the later pony engines, like on a 14A or a 46A. They use that much smaller, compact carburetor. Those pony engines, I believe, turn higher RPM. And everything about them, I don't know why, they're more finicky. The older ponies of this era, they were more reliable and easier to deal with. I would never walk down here to one of those sitting for 10 years and expect to just crank start it and get her going and go from there. It would never happen. This is the first time I've looked at this tractor in a while. The undercarriage is a little more worn than I was remembering, but you know, it'll work. I recently bought a Garwood scraper that I was kind of hoping to hook to this tractor, and we'll have that running up at Brownsville maybe this year. We'll see. Let's see if we check her out and get her running. Step one, does the pony engine have oil? It's got some. You gotta remember the lean we're on, so it shows a little low, but it's fine. In order to crank start this, the crank goes right there, and this, oh, that was a little stuck, pushes down. There's a spring, shoves it back up, so once it starts, that thing's not spinning around. The crank was always in the toolie box. Still there. The crank just comes up here. And then you only get, you know, a little quarter turn on it before you hit the air cleaner. So that keeps you from just wailing around on it. I think the reason for that is if it were to backfire, it would rip out of your hands. So that makes it a little bit safer when you're just kind of pulling that one pop on it. Let's check the oil in the diesel. Oh yeah, we got Earl. Got plenty of Earl. Check the Cool Quip. Yeah, I can kind of see it around the bend there. So the gas tank for the pony engine is just a little tank up here under the hood, and then it runs back to the carburetor right here. It smells old and not delicious. Yep, looks to be dry. Also, we're 5 minutes to 3 starting this endeavor.
Let me see your car a little bit. Yeah, it's all whitewashed.
All right, let's fill it up with gas. I think we want gas. Oh. Oh, look, it's full. Sweet, let's try her out. So how are we actually going to put gas in it, John?
Well, gas wasn't part of the list, but we do have a golf cart.
Since we didn't go to the gas station and we're making this in one trip, let's see if we can get out of the golf cart. All right, so that's the vacuum pump. This is the pressure side. Probably easiest to take it off the carb. Oh, an empty water bottle. Oops. All right, how much cranking does it take to make this pump? I'm glad it runs on the bowl for a little while. This is not going to go well. Maybe we should hook it back up so it can keep running. I'm amazed it's running that long. That's not a good sign. Apparently golf carts are pretty fuel efficient. Turns out. We're gonna find out if this is enough gas. Don't spill it. All right, so the bowl is right here, and it looks to be dry. I guess let's just go right to it. Let's see. It'll fill the bowl. Oh wow, look at that. It is filling the bowl. I bet she goes, Big John. I got too much faith in you, old number 6. So this is the choke. It's kind of easier to work from this side. But I'm surprised it was pulled out like that. Pull the choke out. And then it's at idle right now. Oh yeah, I think this one was stuck. I don't know that we ever freed up the idle thing. We just always started it at idle. Yep. Switches on for the mag. Should be all we need. Hopefully, old pony will give us some life. Woo! You see the dirt coming out of there. I can still see it in the tank.
You want me to take a couple swings at it?
The only other option is we could take the air cleaner off and pour a little gas directly in it too. Maybe I'll try full chokeage a little more. Are we getting gas in it? For sure. Tap it to make sure the float's loose. Oh look, this spark plug wire was off. That wasn't. So I look over here and that spark plug wire was chilling like that. Make sure it's hooked up. Probably help the cause. What happened? Let's see if any gas is making it to the car. Nope. Okay, so either we need more gas or something is stuck. I think let's start with more gas. Like honestly, if you look at the size of that bowl versus a water bottle, that's a lot of it. Between whatever you lose sitting in the tank and everything. We'll dump some of this in and see if any comes out. Touch came out, didn't it? Am I imagining things? Did that just get wet?
Yeah, you got some coming out. Yeah, it's coming out.
All right.
You just needed that little bit more.
I think we need more than that little more. I think we need more of it. Well, what do we think?
Second bowl.
That's optimistic. But I hope you're right. Nope. What happened? When are we allowed to cheat and get a jump pack?
You'll have to tell the camera to give up.
Oh. What happened? Why did we try? Do wonder if we had a took the air cleaner off here and jumped a little splash of gas right down the carburetor. Try to help prime everything. Give her a little splashage. Not flooding it at all. I'm gonna put the air filter back on in case it needs the vacuum. If you don't want that wide open, I don't know. Seeing it not coming out of there makes me afraid that maybe we did flood it. Oh, there's some pretty good nests coming out of there. Oh. Come on. So close. Come on! love that old tractor. The old girl, I knew she'd come roaring back to life. Our one trip over with a golf cart, getting it running. What time is it? 3:23. That was too easy, Big John. I love this tractor. So this is a number 25 cable control on the back. It's a dual drum, so we could use this to pull a scraper as well. You just take that cable off the blade, take the blade off. If you're running a scraper, you use them both on that. So I'm going to see if we can fit this in the middle bay of the shed. That will give us room for the other 977 with a canopy to fit in the far bay, because it's a little bit taller back here. We'll see if it'll go. We may need to take our wrench and pop the stack off in order to fit in that middle bay. That's all there is to her. That went way too easy, Big John. She's tucked back in there nicely. I wonder if we ought to drain that gas because it's not ethanol free that we put in there, I don't think. If we took the bowl off, maybe.
So whenever you had it just ran out the bowl or the how much was in the carb at that point?
Yeah, I shut the valve off. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. See, like you can see the gas tank up underneath there. So the outlet's on this side. So that's probably why to put so much gas in. It was leaning even harder over there. So it took that much gas to get it up in the tank because it had kind of all evaporated out of there.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just unbolt that again. We'll find out how much surplus we had. So if you guys noticed, I shut the gas off on the bowl and it ran and ran until it ran out of the gas in the carburetor. And that is the key to being able to go back and start them up again. Do not leave that full of gas to get old and varnished in there. That's all the extra we had. Now we can get home. As far as plans for this tractor, someday I would love to fix it up, paint it up nice, find a better undercarriage, at least chains and track pads and everything and put on there. But for what it is, it's just fine. I've recently bought a Garwood scraper that's about the size of a Cat 70 that would be intended for a D7. My plan is to hook that up to this tractor and take it all up to Brownsville. I think it would be something different, something cool. Pull the old Garwood scraper around with the 2UD8. The undercarriage is worn out. One of the valve seats is leaking, as you can hear on the exhaust side. So it needs some love, but it's still just a good old tractor. When I was in high school, I cut away a bunch of one of the lower banks down on one of the fields where we couldn't mow it. It was too steep. Basically cut that whole bank out, push it down, and made one whole slope that was nice and uniform that we could mow with a tractor. That was kind of my intro to bulldozing 101 was on this machine here, and I learned a lot about it by doing that. Because of some stuck rings and sitting, giving it a good hard workout like that, it was blowing oil out. I had black specks all over my face after running it, but I just always kind of loved this tractor. And like I said, it is the most worn out, clapped out D8 we have, but it's my favorite. And I knew we could come down here after close to 10 years it sat in the shed and hasn't gone anywhere. And I just knew we could come down and crank start. And I kind of wanted to make it a little bit of a challenge. It's a will it start, but not that it's been sitting outside in the woods for 45 years, but we'll still make a video out of it and hope you guys enjoy. I'm Sam with Scrappy Industries. Thanks for watching.